We're doing more Great Ace Attorney today, and this episode I'm particularly excited about because we're starting the final case of the game, the final case of the Ace Attorney, Great Ace Attorney series. Well, I mean, it's only 2 games. Well, the way I see it is Great Ace Attorney is just one really big game. It's not 2 games, it's just a really big game because they're so tied together and so linked that they might as well just be one big game. That's probably what the point of Great Ace Attorney Chronicles is. So, yeah. And also, Nintendo's doing their Nintendo Treehouse again, showing off Mario Kart and whatnot. I don't really care about that. I never really watched the Treehouse as much anyway, except for, like, Smash Ultimate, I think. I think that's the only time I actually watched the Treehouse. But, Oh, and I think I also watched it for Origami King, because I was really curious if that game was good, and we all know how that went. Yeah. Anyways, I still find it really weird that we ended the last episode, like the last chapter of the game, on a trial. Or, like, there was no trial. The resolve of Ryunosuke Naruhodo. Yeah, that's what it said. Is that it? That's it. There's no fancy opening or nothing. It's just, this is his resolve. Ooh, and the music's different. So, Trial Part 1. So, the time's finally come. Today, we unravel everything. I'll be counting on your support more than ever today, Miss Suzuto. Okay, I have all my evidence still, right? Yes, I do, okay. She looks very sad. That's not good. Miss Suzuto? Ah! Oh. Oh no, what's the matter, Mr. Naruhodo? Nothing. I was just saying that I'll be relying on your support today, but... I'm so sorry, of course. I know I can be rather incompetent at times, but... I shan't let you down. Would you mind helping me to my feet, then? Oh dear, I'm really very sorry. Suzuta-san isn't her usual self at all. That's hardly surprising, I suppose. She's just found out that her father's a partner of a world-famous detective. Not to mention... Good morning, sir. Oh, it's Van Zeeks. Lord Van Zeeks. Thank you for all your efforts yesterday. Did I hear that correctly? But... Oh, no, nothing. Just, I hope we can clear things up today. I really can't make this man out. His face says, I hate you, but his words are almost jovial today. In fact, he hasn't been very Reaper-like at all since this all began yesterday. Lord Van Zeeks isn't the Reaper, Mr. Naruhodo. Good point. So I guess Van Zeeks is my final defendant after all. I mean, I guess, you know, what better defendant to have as the final one than the frickin' prosecutor, right? I don't know, that's just interesting to me, because this is, like, the first time, I think, in the series that a case has gone so unsolved that it needed an extra chapter to finish. I think they did that on purpose. Like, I feel like they were gonna originally have 4 cases, and then they were like, wait, no, the 4th case is too long, split it up into 2 episodes instead. So that's why Case 4 ends so abruptly, and Case 5 just kind of starts randomly. The Reaper, I suppose in hindsight, I shouldn't have allowed that misconception to go unchallenged. Huh? It was my distinct acceptance of that pseudonym. My failure to stop the Reaper becoming something more than a mere legend that led to all this. But you're not to blame for that, Lord Van Zeeks. It's only because serious crime in the capital dropped off so sharply when the public started calling you that. That's why you didn't say anything, isn't it? To be frank, I'm not sure that was the sole reason. What do you mean? There was a rumor at the time that the Reaper was really the ghost of my late brother. Man, this music's so epic. Like, dude, it's just the courtroom. Chill. Or not the court. It's just the lodgings or whatever this place is called, the antechamber. That having been slain by that evil killer, Clint's restless spirit returned as some sort of demigod, to wield the deadly blade of justice where I, by dint of the law, could not. Yes, we've heard that story too. When I lost him, I felt as though I lost my guiding light. I didn't know where to go or what to do. And so, in some small way, I wonder if perhaps those rumors made me feel his absence a little less keenly. That's possible. Even if I knew it was just an illusion, just some nonsense conjured up by an over-imaginative public.
He was obviously extremely important to you.
Also, I don't... This might be a really deep-cut, comparison, but I noticed that Clint Van Zieks, he wears a red outfit. Meanwhile, Van Zieks wears a black outfit. And I wonder if that has to do with, like, you know, the playing cards. You know, like, the spades and clubs being black and the hearts and diamonds being red. I don't know if... That's probably a really deep-cut theory, but I don't know. I just noticed that, because he's wearing black and his brother's red, so I don't know. Well, what's important now is uncovering the truth. That's all that matters. I know that you didn't take anyone's life. And I intend to prove that beyond the shadow of a doubt in court today. I never thought I'd say this, but I can see it in your eyes. It's that burning desire to cut through all lies and deception. I can't deny it any longer. You are a lawyer of absolute integrity. Thank you. Now tell me, why do I detect the scent of expensive tea leaves in the air? Oh, because Iris is here. Oh, Iris, when did you get here?
Oh. I brought you one of my special blends. Hurley loves it. He says it helps him to clear his head.
I thank you.
Ooh.
That's surely the first and last time I'll ever see a sight like this. You seem different today, Iris.
Oh?
Sort of subdued, I suppose.
I am not.
What happened yesterday is obviously still playing on her mind a lot. She's clearly very troubled about having stolen that autopsy report from Dr. Seiss' laboratory.
Alright then, good luck to you both. I have to make a move now.
Oh, you're not staying? I thought you'd want to watch today's proceedings.
Well, I'd like to cheer you on, obviously. But I've got lots to get ready.
Get ready for what?
Oh yes. Would you like to take this?
Isn't that one of the little felt dolls that's usually dangling from your knapsack?
Yes, it's a lucky charm. A little Hurley that I made once.
A Hurley? Looks more like a Hurley to me.
If for some reason you completely run out of options in the trial today, then just pull this little Hurley's ears as hard as you possibly can.
What? Pull his ears?
That's right. It's a way to bring good luck. I think you might need it.
I've been told to tug his ears if I run out of options in the trial today. Well, that's foreboding. You think what we'll need is luck?
I just need to peek inside the courtroom. And it seemed very different to normal.
It's like everything's gonna be on fire. Yes, it would seem that a certain someone has decided to pull out all the stops. What does that mean? It's fucking strong heart, isn't it?
What about Mr. Sholmes, Iris? I don't know. He was out all night and he hadn't come home by the time I left this morning.
Oh, I see. Was Professor Mikotoba out all night too, do you think, Miss Suzuto?
Yes, it would seem so. I telegrammed the hotel this morning. And apparently they didn't come back to their rooms last night at all.
Yeah, Jigoku's gone too.
Father and Judge Goku, I mean.
Judge Jigoku too?
That's right. Nobody appears to have seen either of them since yesterday.
We haven't seen Jigoku since frickin' like the start of the case. Counsel for the defense and defendant. Court is now about to be in session. Please make your way inside the courtroom at once, dude.
Good luck then, Reno. Good luck, Susie.
Yes, thanks, Iris.
And you, Mr. Reaper, I hope it goes well.
Once again, I thank you for the delicious tea. It was very soothing.
Oh, I'm so glad.
We must go inside now, Lord Van Zieks. Lord Van Zieks has always been the formidable prosecutor I've had to lock horns with in court. But not today. Today I battle with another in pursuit of the truth. My best friend, Kazuma Sogi, who I trust more than anyone else in the world. Now I understand what it was that drew me here to Britain all those months ago. Now I know exactly what destiny it had in store for me. It's all been leading up to this one day, to this one trial, to this one final reckoning. It's gonna be like the longest trial in history or something, I bet. Because I don't know how true this is, but I'm pretty sure there's like 10 hours of game left. So if there's 10 hours of court, like, holy shit. Feels even more oppressive here than it did yesterday. There are cold stares piercing me like knives from all sides today.
Ah, Mr. Naruhodo, look!
What the fuck? Lord Strongheart? What the fuck is he doing in the judge's chair? Kazuma must have known beforehand. I mean, I knew he was gonna be here, but I was not expecting to see him in the judge chair. The ramifications of this trial now extend far beyond the murder of one Scotland Yard inspector. In fact, events have come to light that threaten to rock the very foundations of our country's legal system. The escape of a condemned criminal on the night of his execution, the subsequent unlawful shooting of the man, and the revelation that prison staff must have been complicit in the jailbreak. Britain is currently hosting influential members of the judiciary from countries all around the world. It is imperative that we uncover the truth in these proceedings to avoid international embarrassment. By a royal decree, this will continue to be a closed trial. And one over which I, Miles Strongheart, exercise total and unequivocal authority. Damn, that kinda goes hard. The 6 jurors' flames just... As was the case in yesterday's proceedings, those here represent in the public gallery are distinguished members of our judiciary, assembled to bear witness to a fair judicial process. In other words, a collection of your acolytes, Lord Strongheart? On a personal note, I find this most distressing, Lord Van Zieks. You were a prosecutor of exceptional talent. Much like your brother Clint, in fact. Oh, fuck. Damn. In the name of Her Majesty the Queen, I hereby declare this court to be in session. For the trial of Barak Van Zieks, who officially stands accused of murder. Counsels for the prosecution and defense, are you in full readiness to proceed? The defense is ready, my lord. As is the prosecution. Yesterday's proceedings brought to light a shocking and disturbing fact. There was a side to the victim, Inspector Tobias Gregson, that was unknown to his superiors at Scotland Yard. Yes, he was carrying out operations in secret, which Scotland Yard knew nothing about. And in those clandestine operations, he had an accomplice. Mr. Daily Vigil, who would be given the inspector's identification, and present himself around the capital in order to establish credible alibis for Gregson. In that way, Gregson appeared to be carrying out his regular Scotland Yard work, when in fact he wasn't. At the end of yesterday's session, Mr. Vigil, who had been suffering from amnesia, regained his memory. It would appear he buried his memories of the time deep inside himself as a means of self-preservation. Because whilst he was engaged as Chief Warder of Barclay Prison, he abetted the convict's escape. Oh, there's the long scroll again. Mr. Vigil is currently recuperating at St. Sinus. He's recovered enough to give a signed statement about his movements on the day prior to the incident. He's formally admitted to posing as Gregson whilst investigating the Red-Headed League. Which brings us to the crucial issue of the victim's time of death. The defense yesterday proposed a suggestion that the victim may have been killed one day earlier. This was based largely on the discovery the victim's pocket watch had not been wound. The prosecution has something to report on that subject, my lord. Really? Go ahead, Prosecutor Sogi. There's the big scroll again. I met once again with the coroner yesterday to discuss the issue. She confirmed the defense's suggestion could not be ruled out. It's entirely possible that Inspector Gregson was killed on the 31st of October, the day before his body was discovered. I have here an updated autopsy report that includes the amended details. But the official opinion of the investigation team was made clear yesterday, that the time of death was 5 PM on 1st November. There are indications of an attempt to disguise the real time of death, however. It seems that the natural decaying process of the victim's body may have been slowed by keeping it chilled. That's out of the question. There are no refrigeration devices in that part of London large enough to accommodate a human corpse.
My lord, this is more than just conjecture. There's evidence to support the idea. We must investigate it thoroughly.
Very well. The court will accept the new report as evidence. However, if this updated report is deemed to be accurate, it will give renewed significance to the movements of the victim on the day before the Fresno Street incident. It would, yes, especially since on that day, Inspector Gregson was using Mr. Vigil to cover up his real movements. It's conceivable that he was killed in the course of his secret activities. Do I sense that the prosecution has some information regarding these activities? Scotland Yard put an enormous effort into investigating that precise matter yesterday. I think we should begin by presenting the results of that investigation work. So, the prosecution calls its first witness now.
Oh, it's Gina.
State your name and occupation for the court.
Inspector Gina Lestrade reporting. Representative of Scotland Yard.
A self-conferred rank, but never mind.
Gina, again?
What's your problem, Odo? What's with that Gina again? Look, the boss meant the world to me. He done more for me than anyone else ever did.
Oh, Inspector Gregson, you mean?
He got me out of the back slums of the East End and took me under his wing. Taught me that life can have a purpose. That's why I'm the best person to be standing here speaking for him. Oh, Gina.
Right, all out of the goodness of Gregson's heart. Not all they had his arm twisted by Mr. Sholmes, no.
What's relevant to these proceedings is that the outcome of Scotland Yard's investigations yesterday has revealed that the victim was carrying out some assignment the police knew nothing about. Very troubling. That face. Lord Strongheart knew. So, Inspector Lestrade, let's hear exactly what it says in that report.
Coming right up, sir.
Oh, this'll be good.
All yard detectives are supposed to follow orders and investigate what they're told. But a little searching in the boss's office turned up a notebook that had a lot of secret meetings in it. According to that, the boss was looking into some smuggled good dealings that day. Looks like it was a big job and all, but the coppers weren't onto it yet. What matters most is, there's witnesses what saw the Reaper at the place too.
Smuggled goods?
I dunno, do I? I'm just telling you what was written in the book.
Tobacco, tea, spices, medicines, good of all sorts flowed into London by legal channels from across the globe. It's well known that they're supposed to dispose of at regular black markets that take place in the capital. But the police are rarely able to locate them in time.
So Inspector Gregson was investigating one of those black markets.
It's been suggested that high-ranking government officials may be involved in black market activity. No doubt Gregson was trying to avoid details of investigations being leaked to the involved parties. That would explain why he was operating on his own authority without the Yard's knowledge.
And do we know where the dealings were taking place this time?
In a particular room of certain exclusive London gentlemen's club. And on the day in question, the accused is known to have been there. That's the conclusion of Scotland Yard's investigation into the matter.
That can't be. We haven't heard anything about this.
Members of the club have testified to it. There's no question. The accused, Barak van Zeeks, was present. Present.
Can't talk.
That would be very significant testimony, then.
Oh my, but Lord Van Zeeks made no mention of this at all.
In short, Lord Van Zeeks had ample opportunity to murder the victim.
Damn, that sound, though. That's one hell of a sound.
Very well, then. Counsel for the defense, begin your cross-examination.
Hey, man, at least he's nice enough to let me cross-examine. You know, he could just be like Manfred Varkamra and be like, nope, we don't need to do a cross-examination.
Hold it!
So, you follow orders, do you, Gina?
Nah, not me. I'm above all that, see?
Oh.
The boss always had special orders for me. Grab us some fish and chips, go and give Toby his grub, that kind of thing.
So, errands more than orders, then.
This detective is still an apprentice, after all.
Yeah, well, this apprentice ain't one to sit around and wait to be told what to do, even by the boss. That's why I've been doing my own investigations into what happened. Didn't find much at first.
Well, can we get that notebook as evidence, maybe? So you went through Inspector Gregson's things?
Yup, as part of the independent Lestrade investigation.
I'm sure your superiors would be delighted that you're taking the initiative.
So I snuck into his office when no one was else about. Because if anyone else at the yard seen me going in there, they'd have turfed me straight out on the street.
This is sounding less and less like an investigation and more like something else.
The prosecution understands that it was this very detective who discovered the notebook.
You got that right. Nothing gets past Inspector Lestrade and his trusty assistant, Chief Inspector Toby. We found it in one of his desk drawers that had a false bottom.
That's impressive.
So then, I went to hide myself when no one could find me so I could have a butcher's at what was written in it. Of course, if anyone at the yard found me out, they'd have turfed me straight onto the street. I'm getting it now though, ain't I? Ain't it worked for me, it would never have been found.
You know, I haven't looked at this yet, and I should probably have a look at the, this Bunny.
What a charming little rabbity version of Mr. Sholmes. Do you suppose this is how Iris sees him? Are you alright, Mr. Naruhodo? Your eyes are veritably boring into the poor doll's ears.
Oh, sorry, I was just wondering. What do you suppose would happen if I were to tug its ears with all my might right now?
I'm sure that we'll find out when the time's right. To become a proper gentleman, you really must learn stoic patience.
But I want to know. Okay, so we can't do this right now. Well, that's the thing, is when am I going to know to pull the ears? I'm just kind of looking at these again. Do I need to look inside here again? I mean, we've already examined all this stuff. Okay, it's weird because the game's saying we haven't examined this already, even though we have. But I think it's because of the fact that this is a new case that it thinks it's new. I don't know, it's kind of weird.
Hold it!
Do you have any idea where those dealings were taking place? Oh yeah, by the way, kind of a weird place to interrupt, but I think I'm gonna be playing Donkey Kong with Jose later. So I don't know how long I'm gonna play Great Ace Attorney for today. I'll bug him and say what time he wants to do it at, I guess. So yeah, you know what? I'll actually go bug him right now. Alright, I just DM'd him. I might get a response midstream, I guess. We'll see.
Yep. It was all there in the boss's notes. Let's see if I can remember.
As I already said, the illegal dealings were due to take place at a gentleman's club. Yes, I remember. But I was hoping to find out the name of the club. What if it's like the Slug and Salad or something? That won't be necessary. What? It's conceivable the club might be used again by the smugglers in future. Therefore, the prosecution has been asked not to reveal their name in these proceedings. Oh no.
I don't know what all the fuss is about. It's right here. All I gotta do is read it out. And I could too. I got this reading game buttoned up now. Can't I show you what I can do? Go on, what's the harm?
The judge hasn't signaled his objection yet. I could try to find out. What should I do? Since I'm assisting. This is a closed court. The proceedings are confidential. There shouldn't be any possibility of information being leaked. As I explained, there is some possibility of politicians being involved in this affair. The prosecution is rightfully exercising caution, I imagine. No, my lord. The prosecution has no objection. Cosma? There's no question that Inspector Gregson was looking into these black market dealings. However, it's not yet been established that he was on that particular trail on the day in question. If the defense requires to know the club's name, the prosecution has no intention of being obstructive.
Right then. I get to show off my reading skills.
That's cute. The Groose.
Hold it!
The Groose? What sort of club is that? Well, it could be Grouse, I don't know. Groose sounds funnier, though.
I ain't the foggiest. Clubs ain't exactly my thing. But I am kinda curious.
They're not places where a foreign student like you would really barely be admitted. Have you looked into the mirror recently?
I tell you what. Me and Chief Inspector Toby could go undercover.
Could you, though?
I could pick out a few good marks and see what else I could find out while I was in there.
I really don't think you should go picking out anything. Anyway, that's where these black market dealings were going to take place, is it?
Yeah, it's gotta be. That's what the lower ranking detectives at the yard reckon.
Says the even lower ranking detective.
Hold it!
So how bad Inspector Gregson... Oh, read that completely wrong. How did Inspector Gregson come to find out about it in that case?
That's the question, ain't it? But I'm just an apprentice, so...
And why didn't he inform Scotland Yard of his findings?
Yeah, that's what I was asking myself. Because, you know, I'm just an apprentice.
When it suits you, yes?
Anyway, the point is, something went on at the club, no question.
You can't say that for certain, though, surely. Pouty face.
Hold it!
I'm still getting into the game, so I'm not sure if I'm gonna have something immediately ready, because I did just wake up earlier this morning. Lord Van Zieks was at the club. He was. Detectives who visited the club yesterday to make inquiries have confirmed it. Several members report having seen the accused being admitted to the room in question as a guest.
Looks like there's no disputing that he was there, then.
Well, we know that Lord Van Zieks was investigating Inspector Gregson, don't we? Perhaps he'd already discovered the Inspector's secret notebook.
Which led him to the club, you mean? Maybe.
Presumably, then, there are also eyewitnesses who can testify that Gregson was there?
None have been identified at this time, no.
So the all-important victim wasn't seen at this mysterious club.
Oi, what ain't you acting Inspector Australia, eh?
So that's all I got to work with. Gina isn't holding back with that ice-cold stare of hers, is she?
I really don't know what to make of all this.
Lord Van Zieks told us that he was investigating Inspector Gregson, but he never once mentioned that he met the Inspector the day before the incident.
You don't think Lord Van Zieks could have been lying to us, do you?
Maybe. I don't know if it's possible, but just maybe he's telling the truth. Maybe he actually met with Mr. Vigil instead. That's not the only way to explain this.
Oh.
If everything Lord Van Zieks has told us is true, then there must be a mistake in this testimony somewhere.
You mean there are the details we've yet to uncover?
Exactly. A clue, perhaps, that even Gina hasn't noticed. That's what we should be looking for here. Well, I don't know. If I had to take a guess, it'd have something to do with this statement, right? I don't know. I'm gonna be not look. Can I look at the ears yet? Is it time for the ears? There hasn't been any mention of this Groose, though. Well, he doesn't have anything in his trunk either, right? I don't know, man. I don't know what to present yet. Okay, well, like, here, let's deduce. Obviously, it's not gonna be the Asogi papers. It's not gonna be the photograph. It could be the police card. I don't know. I'm gonna have a look again, maybe. I mean, it couldn't hurt to have a look at the his ID again. So there's nothing, I guess. I thought there'd be some new info in there. And maybe the pocket watch? I don't know. I love we still have the frickin' firecracker. Notice board. Do we need to look at the notice board again? Yeah, Redhead League advertisement. This is the same shit. This is nothing, then. We know what the frickin' bloody handprint already. There's the autopsy report. Evidence suggests measures may have been taken to disguise the time of death. I mean, that's something, at least. I don't know. Let me have a look at the other statements, maybe. Why don't we have the notebook as evidence, I wonder? It could be this one, or it could be statement number 4 too. I don't know. The coppers weren't onto it yet. Bro, I'm so like, I haven't, my brain hasn't started functioning properly yet. It's not like fully in motion, so I can't think about this. Yeah, this is like nothing, right? Do I just present the trunk? Like, I don't know.
Objection!
I don't fucking know. My lord, as counsel for defense, I must object to that last statement.
And as the judge, I must deny your objection. There's no contradiction here.
Oh.
No contradictions other than the fact that the Far Eastern lawyer is practicing in a British courtroom.
Put there by a not so far away Lord Chief Justice, if you remember. Okay, so it's not that. Well, let's save, just in case. We're gonna try shit, because I can't think straight this morning, apparently. Well, like, what is this? Do we have any smuggled goods, I wonder? Is this smuggled goods? I don't know.
Objection!
I'm just trying random shit. Hey, man, at least we get to see some more you fucked up dialogue. Should I be wondering if I'll make it out of this courtroom alive? Look at me making the stupidest mistakes. So I repressed this. Can I tug on the ears yet? Is it time? Is it time for me to do that yet? Nope, it's not time yet, I guess. And I think that's all there is. There's nothing else left. Huh. I mean, there's only so many things I can present. Well, we'll see. Is it the passport? Do I present the passport?
Objection!
No. There's so many different, like, fail, like, dialogue. Can I present, do I just present the trunk on this one, then?
Objection!
Oh man, I'm really struggling to figure out what they want me to do here. That statement seemed a little questionable to me. What do you think, my lord?
I see no inconsistency there. Do you? You could span the Straits of Dover with those wide eyes, counsel, and be gone from this island forever, I hope.
Wow, he's bloodthirsty. Do you want me to fill the English Channel with tears? I have nothing that relates to this frickin' gentleman's club. There's nothing in my court record that relates to this, like, gentleman's club, is there? Wait, what's this? What's this again? Looks like there's some sort of steamship ticket. The SS Gru- Oh, fuck! The SS Grus? Hold on. Yokohama departure, 11/7th. 11th September. London arrival 1st November. Ah, that's the boat that Professor Mikotoba and Judge Jigoku came on from Japan, isn't it? Yes, I think it was at Dunkirk on the north coast of France for a night before finally arriving in Dover.
think it's been almost a year since we arrived in Dover on the SS Burya. Seems a shame not to keep your ticket as a memento of your trip, don't you think?
Yes, I agree. I have mine safely in my diary.
And I keep mine in my wallet, so I have it with me all times. Oh, well, how strange. Where could it have gone?
Are you like this on purpose, Mr. Naruhodo?
Did I imagine it, or was that comment accompanied by a little sigh? The Grooves.
Objection!
We found something that actually relates to that. I've read about these clubs that exist here in Britain. As I understand it, they're places where well-to-do gentlemen socialize with friends and colleagues. Don't imagine for a second that a foreign student like you would be admitted. Seriously, is your mirror cracked or something? Do we know for sure that the contraband dealings were definitely happening at a club called the Grooves? The police are currently looking for evidence, but haven't found anything definitive yet. And I'm sorry to say that they probably won't. What do you mean by that?
I mean that the place Inspector Gregson was secretly going to visit on 31st October
may not have been a gentleman's club at all. You're showing a very irreverent attitude towards our country's police force there, Counsel. If it wasn't a gentleman's club, then what was it?
Oh, there goes my fucking, my timer. My laundry's done. Alright, I'll be right back. Alright, I just got back. I did my laundry. And I still haven't gotten a message back, so I guess we're just gonna keep going. A steamship.
You think it's a ship?
I have the evidence to prove it. We're here.
Let me see that. This dark-suited young man is not in the least bit untrustworthy.
Oh, the other side, my lord.
Be more specific next time. Ah, this would appear to be a ticket for a passage upon a steamship, yes. The SS Grooves.
Objection!
So there's a steamship named the Grooves that happens to share a name with the club. But I'm afraid to say, there's a flaw in your logic there.
How?
Look at the ticket. Notice the date of arrival in port. The ship arrived at the port of Dover on 1st November. Ah. The day on which the sound like a gunshot was heard on Fresno Street. In other words, on the day in question here, 31st October, when the victim was on his
clandestine? How do you say that word? And what does that word even mean? You know what? We're looking it up. Kept secret or done secretly. How do you even say that word? Clandestine? That's an interesting word. Man, leave it to Ace Attorney to use like the weirdest frickin' words that nobody's ever heard. Let's see how it sounds like. Clandestine?
Clandestine.
Clandestine. That's an interesting word.
That ship hadn't yet docked in the British shores. That would certainly make an undercover investigation somewhat challenging.
Objection!
The fact that the steamship hadn't yet reached Britain substantiates the defense's assertion that the victim was investigating the SS Grooves on the day in question.
Then show your evidence for that assertion.
Oh, it's the passport, right? Very well. That's such a good sound.
In that case, counsel for the defense, present your evidence to the court now. Evidence that substantiates your claim that the victim was investigating the SS Grooves on 31st October.
Can I look at the passport again? Within 1 week from 31st October. Yeah, let's try that.
Take that!
What's this? A passport for travel issued to the victim? Dated 31st October? What are you suggesting?
I'm suggesting that just 1 day before the inspector's body was discovered,
There's a distinct possibility he wasn't even in the country. There he's doing that goofy-ass pose again.
Order, order. This document is for passage to France. It does appear to have been officially authorized.
The day before the SS Gruz arrived at Dover, it docked on the northern coast of France for a night.
According to my father, who was on board at the port of Dunkirk.
Dunkirk, France? What could possibly have taken the victim there? I'm impressed, Ryunosuke Naruhodo. I certainly didn't expect you to get your hands on that passport.
What? You mean you knew about this?
The prosecution strategy for this trial had been laid down by the Crown Prosecution Office. On the day before the incident, the victim was investigating contraband dealings at a London club. That's the outcome of Scotland Yard's investigations, and the line the prosecution had been asked to follow. But personally, I don't agree. I think the prosecutor's office is trying to hide something.
What?
And now that you've expertly disproven their assertion, I intend to reveal what I believe that something to be. What are you playing at, Prosecutor Sogi?
A courtroom is a forum for the truth, my lord. Which is why it's my duty to present all the facts, without exception.
Let me guess. This was your intention from the outset, wasn't it?
The reason Inspector Gregson secretly made his way to the steamship docked in France on the day in question was to carry out a mission for the Reaper.
The Reaper?
Damn. Order! What on earth are you saying, counsel?
The prosecution made an assertion in court yesterday.
Oh, wow.
But in reality, the truth is the opposite of that.
What?
Inspector Gregson wasn't investigating the Reaper at all. He was, in fact, acting for the Reaper.
So, you're saying that the mission Wazila's undertaking was...
Obviously, an assassination. Barak Van Zieks never carried out any of the actual killings. Whenever the Reaper's victims lost their lives, he always had a cast-iron alibi. Which tells us that he must have had an accomplice.
And you claim that was Inspector Gregson?
Well, what the hell do you think you're saying, eh? My boss would never have done nothing like that.
And yet, when you consider all the facts, it all makes perfect sense.
No, it can't be. We also arrived at the same conclusion, didn't we? That Inspector Gregson was operating as the Reaper.
Even so, there's no way that person giving him his there's no way that the person giving his orders was Lord Van Zieks. No, the true Reaper is somebody else. Barak Van Zieks is not the Reaper. A predictable response from someone who's advocating for the man. And even if it is true that Gregson was operating as an agent of the Reaper, the suggestion that he went abroad the SS Gruz on the assassination mission doesn't follow at all.
Oh, you have some solid reasoning for doubting the assertion, do you, counsel?
Absolutely. It's very simple. On the day in question, nobody was killed aboard that steamship. Professor Mikotoba and Judge Yigoku were on that very ship. If someone had been assassinated, I'm certain we would have heard about it. What's so funny? You're right, of course. No suspicious deaths were reported on that board ship. But I think perhaps you've missed the point. That's precisely why Inspector Gregson himself lost his life.
What?
Gregson did board the SS Gruz that night with the intention of dispatching his mark. But his mission ended in failure.
Failure?
It seems that the defense hasn't yet grasped a very important detail here. What are you talking about? What detail?
Inspector Gina Lestrade.
Eh? What?
The victim's notebook that you read an excerpt from earlier. That doesn't contain details of secret investigations at all. It describes 10 years of assassination plots to be carried out by the Reaper of the Bailey.
You're lying. Even if all them bludgers what got taken out had it coming. The boss weren't the Reaper. Poor Gina.
There's no question that Tobias Gregson was heavily involved in the Reaper's activities. You may just be an apprentice, but if you spent any time at Scotland Yard, you must have heard rumors.
I ain't heard nothing. I don't believe a word of it.
Then testify again, as a representative of Scotland Yard. Consider it your chance to defend your boss.
I don't.
I concur. The witness will give a new formal testimony. Miss Lestrade, you will tell the court everything you know about the Inspector Gregson's secret notebook.
Yeah, that's must be really hard for her.
Yeah, this notebook does have a lot of stuff about what the Reaper got up to these past 10 years. Names of victims, dates and places and stuff. And the last entry there was October 31st. It said Bruce was for the place on that date, and then the name of the mark. There was a note about him being a criminal what got away from the Reaper in court 10 years ago or something. But honest, the boss didn't do none of it. He was just investigating the Reaper, that's all.
Keep personal opinion out of your testimony, witness. We require only established fact here.
This must be so hard for her. Yeah, that's literally what I said.
You can't deny it now, surely, Ryunosuke Naruhodo.
Why can't I deny? Or what can't I deny?
The notebook contained the name of the final mark and the location where the assassination would take place. That's information that the victim would have only known if he was working with the Reaper. So, who was to be this final mark? Go ahead, Inspector Lestrade. Read the name for the court. The name that's written alongside the entry that mentions the Groose on 31st October.
Al, you read this then?
Reading's still not her strong suit.
That ain't the promo, right, Odo? It's a funny name. It ain't English. It's hard to read.
So it's someone for overseas?
Let me have a bash at it. Seishiro, is it? Yeah, Seishiro. You maybe?
What? It can't be. Seishiro Jigoku?
But that's Judge Jigoku.
Seishiro Jigoku. Certainly not an English name, you're right.
Objection!
But that can't be right. I know Judge Jigoku, and I saw him the day before yesterday, here in London. So I know for a fact that the man hasn't been assassinated.
As I said, the Reaper failed.
Oh.
Gregson missed his chance to kill his mark and return to British shores. But the Reaper wouldn't tolerate the mistake, so he killed the Inspector, personally. The Reaper, of course, being the accused, Barak Van Zieks. It's an undeniably logical argument.
Man, so many raspy voices. My freaking like throat's gonna die by the end of this episode. Like, I was fine voicing Strongheart for like maybe half an hour, but now I have to voice him for 2 hours straight. Oh my god, I'm gonna die, bro. Kazuma, you planned for the trial to go this way all along, didn't you?
Hold it!
Oh shit. Well, we know that voice all too well. The foot is back.
Pray forgive the discourtesy of filling my hollow chalice whilst I stand accused of murder.
Lord Van Zieks.
The accused has no right to speak uninvited in court. You'll return to the dock.
I say nothing of whether or not the Reaper. That's the task of this court to decide. But there is one thing I can say unequivocally. That girl is no detective.
Eh? What? Nah, that's right, I ain't. I'm an inspector.
Repeating rumors heard around the yard, reading entries from a notebook of unconfirmed origin. That's not testimony, it's practically a script. No doubt the rest of this trial will go exactly as you clearly planned. Your hatred of me is understandable. In your mind, I'm sure I'm the Reaper, who sent your father to the gallows all those 10 years ago. But you're in danger of becoming a far more sinister Reaper yourself, by attempting to have me condemned with this feeble excuse for testimony. What did you just say?
Mr. Naruhodo, this is our chance.
My lord, the defense requests that the defendant be allowed to speak. He may be privy to important information relating to the testimony given by the witness. Oh, he's doing the thing.
Very well, I'll make an exception and grant the request. The defendant may remain in the witness stand for the cross-examination. Then allow me to toast to the court's impartiality. Don't raise your glass in my direction, sir. Counsel for the defense, begin the cross-examination immediately.
Slap. At once, my lord. Oh, wait, hang on, I got a few messages. Oh, fuck, it's just from Luke again. God damn it. I thought it was Jose. Oh well. Well, here we go.
Yeah, this notebook does have a lot of stuff.
Okay, I'm just reading that again.
Hold it!
We don't need to read it again. In other words, it shows that Gregson was basically acting as the Reaper.
Not you and all. That ain't the only explanation, is it?
So, there's probably going to be a part where, Van Zeke speaks up, I guess. That's the only... I mean, why else would he be here?
He could have been investigating the Reaper in secret, and that notebook said what we found out.
If I may, when originally people began referring to me as a Reaper, I didn't object. I believe the power to intimidate London's criminal classes into compliance with the law could be beneficial.
But you carried out your own investigations into the true identity of the Reaper, didn't you?
Yes, and those investigations proved conclusively that Gregson was one arm of the Reaper.
One arm? What are you on about?
The Reaper's victims were all extremely shrewd criminals at the top of the game. There's simply no way one person could have been taken on them alone. The Reaper is an organization.
With you at its head?
I had spies at the yard keeping me abreast of Gregson's movements, letting me know when he was elsewhere. So I'd been able to check the most recent entry in his notebook. I knew the location.
You knew it said Groose?
Believing it to be a reference to the Gentleman's Club, I went there on the day in question to investigate alone.
Ah, so that explains why several members of the club claim to have seen you there.
So he was also, like, investigating on his own.
But of course the inspector was not there.
Because at the time, he was making his way to the steamship docked on the northern coast of France, as shown by the passport found in the victim's metal trunk. Very well then, back to your testimony about the contents of this notebook.
Fine. Is something wrong, Mr. Naruhodo? You seemed a little shocked by something a moment ago.
Oh, no, it's alright. I'm overthinking this, aren't I? Alright. I'm expecting Van Zeeks to, like, perk up about something on one of these statements. Names of victims, dates, places, and stuff? What in particular?
Well, besides the victims' names, this other name kept cropping up.
What other name was that?
It's the one I told you yesterday. Same name written over and over again.
You mean... Assassin?
Yeah, that's the one. She's a friend of yours or something, is she?
Were you even listening yesterday? Assassin. The assassin. The assassin.
What, like a killer, you mean?
Gregson was the tactician, the one who came up with the plan of attack. He investigated the marks thoroughly, finding out when they could be vulnerable and who to use it to get at them. But the person actually executing his plans was someone else, you're saying? If that's true, then the Reaper does indeed start to sound like an organized group of vigilantes.
Ah, then perhaps what it said on the passport document. Permission for the applicant of one additional person to travel. Could that additional person have been...
Clearly the assassin who was meant to take Seishiro Jigoku's life.
Gina, can you confirm that, against the final entry that listed Groose and Seishiro Jigoku? What name's written? Oh, well, that's the only entry that didn't have a name next to it, as it happens.
What?
It just had like a question mark or something there, I think.
In other words, Gregson himself didn't know the identity of the assassin in that case. But Gregson was the one making the plans, was he not?
Oh, how infuriating.
A nameless assassin. Something's gonna pop up, I reckon.
Hold it!
And you're saying that the mark listed was Seishiro Jigoku?
That's what it said. Funny name if you ask me. And I thought your name was odd.
So pleased to have lost my crown there. Mr. Jigoku is the presiding judge of Japan's Supreme Court of Judicature. I remember the man. He came to our country as a visiting student 16 years ago.
Yeah, I find it weird that he's actually he's not like that old of a judge. He's not really a young judge either, though, you know, because Courtney is like what? She's like in her 20s or something, right? But then Jigoku, he's in he's middle age. You know, unlike you know, the judge. Oh, we still have these fart knockers in our court record for no reason. Yeah, I mean, usually you could assume the judges are like 50 or 60 maybe, which, you know, kind of lines up with Strongheart.
Studying international law and diplomacy under your tutelage, Lord Strongheart. That bearded young fellow was a very able man, I must say.
So Lord Strongheart was Judge Jigoku's mentor.
If I'm not mistaken, he returned Japan 10 years ago now.
10 years ago, after that fateful case.
Precisely. In the aftermath of the Professor case, his repatriation was organized immediately. It's a mystery why such a man would be listed in the inspector's notebook.
I didn't think it was possible, but the nowadays got even worse now. Maybe I'll just keep talking.
Hold it!
What do you mean a criminal? Judge Jigoku's no criminal.
But don't ask me, I don't know nothing about it. Oh, do you remember what Father told us? The Judge Jigoku did once appear in court here in Britain. It was related to the Professor case, I'm sure.
Yes, of course. You're right. Yeah, we did hear about that. Yeah, that's, it's not good.
It was a pitiful situation, yes. I had forgotten all about it, but I prosecuted that trial too, as it happens.
You did?
It was considered to be an adjunct to the professor proceedings, you see? But he was acquitted after being told to make reparation for the damage.
See, that's confusing. There's reparation and there's repatriation. Those are like two very similar sounding words.
For the damage caused at the stand.
I'm surprised your fucking leg didn't damage it.
And there you have it. Have what? Surely the accused hasn't forgotten his own rule. That there's no saving anyone who faces the Reaper in court, guilty or innocent alike.
What? No! Are you suggesting that the reason Judge Goku was targeted for assassination?
The man was sent back to Japan immediately after the trial. The Reaper had no time to do his work. But then, 10 years later, the mark returns to Britain once more. Perhaps now you start to see just how vindictive the Reaper is.
Come on, that's absurd. Did they take someone's life for that?
Isn't the whole premise of the Reaper, Sid, killing those who have been found innocent? Clearly the rules by which the man operates are beyond the sane person's comprehension.
But... Who's objecting?
Right, I've just had about enough of this.
Gina? All this nonsense about the boss's plan to kill people, it's cobblers.
Come on, Odo.
Yes?
Why ain't you saying nothing? Why ain't you yelling out objection or something?
What?
You got a fine flaw. Do you do usually? Someone's lying here, no question. You gotta work out who it is. Please, for the boss.
That outburst was an insult to the court and to your own testimony.
He's looking at his watch in the middle of the trial.
I might have known that a common pickpocket from the back slums could make a detective. When this trial's over, you'll forfeit your warrant card, Miss Lestrade. Is that clear?
I've had it with a lawyer. It's laws every bleeding place you look in this world, isn't it? Well, I've had enough.
Gina. So have I. After that little speech of Gina's, I've made up my mind.
To do what, Mr. Naruhodo?
There was one point in this cross-examination when something that was just said didn't sit right with me. One statement that seemed odd.
Oh, do you mean...
I'm not going to let Gina's plea for help fall on deaf ears.
Hold it!
I want to thank you, Gina. You helped me find my resolve.
Eh?
What do you mean?
Amongst everything we've heard during this cross-examination, there's one thing that defies explanation. One inconsistency.
What? An inconsistency?
Really, Odo?
I don't quite know what it means yet, but... Yes, there's an inconsistency in something that was said by... Fuck. Who... I wasn't even paying attention, man. Well, who could it have been? It could be Cosmo? It could be Strongheart? Well, I probably have to look through the history to see what was said. Well, how far will it let me scroll up? The Reaper had no time to do his work. Well, obviously it's not Gina herself. Well, I mean, there's only so many people it could have been. I almost want to say Cosmo, but I don't know. I'm not thinking straight still. Well, we have as much time to figure this out as we want, right? Huh. Well, let me think. Maybe I should think about this to myself for a sec. So, let me just recap things for myself. So, Seishiro was tried in court 10 years ago for something that Asogi said, and then he was shipped off back to Japan, He came back on the steamship. I almost want to say Asogi, but I don't think it's Cosmo. It can't be, right? Well, let's see if I'm wrong.
Take that!
By you, Cosmo. So, what, it is? It is him? Me? Is this some attempt at filibustering, Counsel? Prosecutor Sogi's given no testimony. What are you suggesting I said that was inconsistent? You let something slip that you shouldn't have. When I present the relevant piece of evidence, I imagine you'll realize what you've done. Very well then, Counsel. Go ahead. What evidence reveals this alleged inconsistency is something Prosecutor Sogi said? I don't know. I'm just kind of going with the flow here. Do we know when this photo was taken? This photo has to come up at some point, right? Hard to say. Has something to do with... You know what? The Lucky Charm, is it time yet? Okay, I guess it's not time yet. Let's see. It's not the Redhead League. Is it the letter of introduction? London arrival, 1st November. I don't know, man. It's not the autopsy report, is it? No. Could be a Asogi. Is it the? It's not the Asogi papers, is it? Well, guys, I can't think this morning, so I'm gonna just do what I do best and present shit until I figure it out. Is that right? We have 3 pages of evidence? That's quite a bit, actually. Is it the passport again?
Take that!
It's not the passport, is it? So my initial impressions were correct. This is nonsense. You accuse your best friend and back it up with that? Clearly, the Rhinos in Naruto I knew is dead. Damn. Struck down by my best friend. Well, that fucking hurts. Damn.
I believe what you intended to point out, Mr. Naruhodo, was when Kazuma said...
Oh, well, yeah. Don't present the passport when I already showed the passport. Yes, that's exactly it. Well, glad they reminded me. I take it from your expression that you're not going to let this go. Correct, my lord. I made a mistake, that's all. What are you suggesting I said that was inconsistent? You let something slip. Okay, now we're back here again. Alright, I'm reloading, though, so I can get my health back. So it's something to do with the steamship, then. So... Well, we also have the trunk, right? You know, why do you think there's shit on the trunk? Is it that?
Take that!
This is a trunk that belonged to Inspector Grace. Okay, see, I knew this was gonna come up at some point. I had a hunch. A metal construction, is it? It's certainly very heavy. What's this? A blood stain? And a relatively fresh one, too.
What? You mean that ain't grease from all the boss's fish and chips?
Fresh blood on the inspector's trunk. That suggests that the victim was traveling with that luggage when he was killed. That can't be. There was no mention of any trunk in Scotland Yard's report. Yes, there's a reason for that.
Immediately after the inspector's body was discovered, one of the street peddlers made off with the trunk, hoping to sell it.
But I found it, me, with me nose for trouble.
Which means that nobody should have known anything about the trunk. Unless, of course, we're talking about somebody who was present when the victim was killed. And yet, during the cross-examination of the witness just now, you said this, Kazuma. Oh, here we go again. same dialogue. They're gonna remind us again. So the question is, how did you know about the inspector's trunk? We know the man went on a trip to France. Where else could he have put his passport?
Objection.
But you knew it was a metal trunk. Answer me honestly, Kazuma. On 31st October, where exactly were you? At the port of Dunkirk, on board the SS Gruz. Is that the answer you're looking for, Ryunosuke? Kazuma, what did you... I hadn't considered the possibility before, but if Kazuma was there on the ship, then it can only have been for one purpose.
Oh no, Mr. Naruhodo. Surely you don't think...
Come on, Ryunosuke. You know the rules, and so do I. The only thing that really talks in the courtroom is evidence. As I understand it, Inspector Gregson always took that case with him when he traveled. So as it stands, you've proved nothing.
Kazuma, are you challenging me to prove it beyond all reasonable doubt? That you were there that day, in the same place as the inspector?
He was there with Gregson?
There's a clue that you've overlooked, a secret that Trunk can tell us. I can't be sure at this point, but I need to verify it. I have a nasty feeling that I'm going to be right.
The accusation being made is deeply disturbing, but nevertheless we must test it. The defense will identify for the court where in the trunk this alleged clue is to be found.
It's the, this.
Got it.
This is your proof? What do you say to that, Prosecutor Sogi? Personally, I think tying the defense counsel to the inspector's trunk and tossing it into the sea would be more helpful.
What?
At least that way, London's courtrooms will be safe from his destructive accusation. Oh, did I fuck up?
I believe that was a rather long-winded way of telling you that you're wrong. What the fuck?
I thought it was because of the fucking scratch. Like it'd be made by a sword or something.
Mr. Naruhodo, you can't allow yourself to be drowned at sea just yet.
I was hoping never to let that happen, funnily enough.
Was that not fucking it? Huh? Do I have to examine it or something? Are you seriously gonna make me examine this?
Have you seen this huge gash across the side of the trunk here? It's gone right through the leather and into the metal behind. Gosh, for a metal chest like this to have been so badly damaged, whatever made this gash must have struck the side of the trunk with considerable force.
Wonder how it happened. Well, what else could it frickin' be? Do I need to open the chest again, maybe? What if I need to look at it from this side? There's something struck inside the trunk there. It's glinting.
Looks like a fragment of metal of some sort, but it's wedged in so tightly, I can't remove it.
Oh. But don't cut yourself. It's better. You better leave it, I think. That's probably it.
Got it.
There's a small piece of metal lodged in the wall of the trunk here, like the tip of a blade.
Eh? A blade?
Kazuma, slung around your waist as ever today, is the esteemed blade Karama.
Of course it is.
Won't you draw it, here in this courtroom, for all to see?
Exercise caution, my learned friend. That man is the son of London's most notorious killer.
Bailiff, watch Prosecutor Sogi like a hawk.
That won't be necessary.
Oh no!
The tip is broken.
If the fragment of metal from the trunk fits together with the end of the sword, the question of who was there with Inspector Gregson will be answered.
Agreed. Kazuma Sogi? Expertly done, Ryunosuke. That's a point to you, and well deserved.
Do you mean to tell the court, Prosecutor Sogi?
Yes. On 31st October, I accompanied Inspector Gregson to Dunkirk in order to carry out a mission.
So the additional person authorized to travel
Was me.
And the mission was?
The assassination of the Mark.
What? You mean you're the killer whose name was omitted in this notebook? You were following the Reaper's orders to dispatch Judge Goku?
Let me make one thing perfectly clear. I have killed no one.
Explain.
I accepted the assassination mission, yes, and I accompanied Gregson to Dunkirk. But I never had any intention of carrying out the plan.
You were never going to do it? We can believe Kazuma-sama, I'm sure. After all, Judge Goku arrived safely in London the following day.
On the 31st, I boarded a train from London with Inspector Gregson. We travelled to Dover from where we crossed the channel to Dunkirk. Then we boarded the SS Gruz and made for the cabin deck as indicated in the plan.
You went to Judge Goku's cabin?
Exactly. He wasn't there though. We decided to wait, but
you've already told us you had no intention of going through there anyway.
I didn't come to Great Britain to take anyone's life. So I left Gregson and disembarked the ship. I spent that night at a boarding house in town and returned to England the following morning.
A boarding house? In Dunkirk?
My signature will be in the register book. It would be simple enough to verify.
Then what became of Jigoku?
Gregson was no assassin, so the mark was spared. I'm sure it's easy enough to imagine what happened after that.
Yep.
Gregson returned to England as well, having failed to complete the mission. He met with the Reaper in that room on Fresno Street to report the failure, causing the infuriated mastermind to pull the trigger and end his wretched agent's life. That's the real truth behind Inspector Gregson's murder.
Objection!
Oh, he's objecting now. But if you did nothing as you claim, how did the tip of your sword come to be lodged in the inspector's trunk? I don't need to answer that. The victim was killed by a gunshot. A small fragment of a Japanese blade isn't relevant to the case. And accordingly, I choose to exercise my right to silence on that matter.
Oh, he's dodging the question.
Be that as it may, the court will sequester the sword as evidence.
As you wish, my lord.
Alright, we have Kadama as evidence. That's fucking wild, okay. The illustrious blade passed down through the generations of the Sogi clan. The prize sword's tip has a small piece missing.
We must take immediate action now, to verify whether Seishiro Jigoku remains unharmed.
What? Remains unharmed?
I agree. That should be our first priority. It's recently come to my attention that he hasn't been seen since yesterday. How did you... When a foreign dignitary invited to Great Britain goes missing for 24 hours, it's only natural that the question of his safety should arise.
You don't mean to say that you think Judge Goku may have been killed?
The Reaper has more than one assassin at his disposal, and he has the power and influence to give orders from the inside of a prison cell. Isn't that right, Lord Van Zeeks? If I were truly the Reaper, I'd be able to tell you. Order! Order in court! Order! We will have to take an emergency recess for 30 minutes.
Now?
Guests of the symposium have been told to maintain regular contact with the organizer's office. If the man can't be located within half an hour, we will have to assume the worst.
Oh no, not Judge Goku.
No one would want to kill a harmless Japanese man who'd only just arrived in the country. Except that is... for the Reaper, wanting to finish off a mark that slipped through the net 10 years ago. I would have to agree. Mr. Naruhodo, for the defense's sake.
My lord?
I sincerely hope we are successful. If we're unable to confirm Mr. Jigoku's healthy existence in the next 30 minutes, you will face grave difficulties. Court is adjourned for 30 minutes.
Okay.
Kazuma-sama, the Reaper's assassin. I feel as though I'm in a nightmare.
I can hardly believe it either. But on the other hand, Kazuma isn't in the habit of making up stories.
I have such a terrible sense of foreboding. If something awful had happened to Judge Shigoku, then I feel as though things will only spiral further and further out of control.
I felt it from the moment I stepped into the courthouse this morning. That strange sensation that we were careering towards a foregone conclusion. Well, in the worst case, we might only have 30 minutes left. Unfortunately, though, I don't think there's anything we can do but wait now. We're out of options.
Actually, there may be one last hand we can play. Or rather, one last ear.
Of course.
The little Mr. Sholmes doll that Iris gave us.
Oh, is it finally time? Perhaps now's the time. What should I do? Pull Hurley's ears or not? Just leave it. Here goes then. I'm going to do it.
Good luck, Mr. Naruhodo.
No looking back. Heave! Ow!
That scream sounded like Mr. Sholmes.
Mr. Sholmes, where are you?
Here, my dear fellow, here!
It's the felt doll talking. Pull yours again, Mr. Naruhodo, as hard as you can.
Alright then, I'll pull all my strength into it.
Heave! Ow! Please, my dear fellows, you don't need to pull me ear off.
Mr. Sholmes, where are you?
Myself and my trusty partner are presently in the first-class cabin area of the SS Gruz.
The SS Gruz?
She left Dover last night after the final piece of cargo were loaded. We are currently docked at Dunkirk, but due to underway again in half an hour.
You've taken a ship to France?
Please, even with my athletic prowess, I would struggle to jump the Straits of Dover. After we left Baker Street last night, we hurried by cab to the station and by train to the port.
That's funny. So, the frickin' Sholmes doll is like a walkie-talkie.
In order to board this vessel in time.
So, you mean you'd already worked it out? That the steamship was where everything really took place?
Mr. Naruhodo, pray, what is my name? Sherlock Holmes, world famous great detective. Recited to perfection, well done.
You're a genius, Mr. Sholmes. That's the only word for it.
Ow, ow, ow! Miss Susato, gently with the genius's ears, please.
Oh my, I'm ever so sorry.
If I may, Sholmes. Ah, there you are, Mikitoba. You may remember that it was in fact I who made the connection to the SS Grooves. At Scotland Yard yesterday, when we examined that notebook and I recalled my steamship ticket. Ha 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 ha! But of course it was, my dear fellow. And not once did I controvert that fact. I merely had our court-bound the companions under my name. Yes, you did, didn't you?
We've just entered recess. The trial resumes in 30 minutes from now. And if I'm unable to present any new leads, then I'm afraid to say...
Do not fret, please. It's for precisely that purpose that my partner and I have made this journey. I have no doubt that we shall have welcome news for you within the half hour.
Thank you, Mr. Sholmes. That would be wonderful.
Until later, then.
Yes, you'll be hearing from us if you're not in touch first.
Ow, ow. I shan't be hearing anything if you keep tugging my ear in just that mindless fashion. What was the idea behind making a receiver operated in that way in the first place, Sholmes? Why the deuce would I know? It's Irish invention, not mine. Whilst I know how much you enjoy being the hero of the hour, Sholmes, we have but half that now before the Goose puts to sea again. If we don't conclude our investigations rapidly, we shall find ourselves in Naples before long. There are times, Mikitoba, when you make a surprising amount of sense. So, let us begin.
What the shit?
First class cabin number 2. Yes, this is the one. But I don't believe an investigation of the cabin is going to be plain sailing. That crewman standing in front of the door is an angry-looking fellow. Why are you loitering here? Who are you? My dear fellow, do you not recognize a world-famous great detective when you see one? The question really ought to be, who are you? Do you not recognize the world-traveling great sailor, Chicken Stroganoff, when you see? Great detective, huh? I don't think so. Do you see that, Mikitoba? It would appear that this man is a devoted follower of mine. Sholmes. Goodness me, is that a tattoo that says Sholmes? I must say, while such adoration is flattering, really, it does leave me a little cold. What are you talking about? Leave now! How distressing. My loyal devotee knows me only by name and not by my appearance. And yet I already know a great deal about you, sir. You have a brother, I believe. Like yourself, he's a shipman. Currently traveling the world aboard a Russian steamship, in fact. How could you know this? Elementary, my dear Mikitoba. I'm sure it was. 3 days ago, I was bound for London aboard this ship, you see. We're looking for one of my fellow passengers, a man by the name of Jigoku. There is no one with that name on this board. But we know he purchased a ticket for passage. Ah, you mean Eastern man. He left ship 2 hours ago. Here at Dunkirk, he said something about emergency, I think. What? Are you sure? So Seishiro's realized that we're after him, has he? His cabin's the one behind you. We should like to investigate, please. No, I have orders not to let even mouse inside. Mikitoba, be a good man and draw the sailor's attention away, would you? Make up some excuse so he leaves the area. Doesn't great detective see that even sailors have ears both left and right? Curses! The plan's ruined! And you will have only yourself to blame, I'm afraid, Sholmes. Forget it, cabin door is locked. Even if I'm not here, you cannot get inside. Mikatoba, I'm sure you haven't forgotten my special talent, have you? Opening any lock? Within a mere 5 seconds. So if you'd be so kind as to afford me the requisite time, old friend, in your typically accommodating manner. How could I refuse such a typically unappealing request, old friend? So I need to distract that burly sailor for 5 seconds, do I? Good man, so, the game is afoot.
Wow, okay. So we're getting slung into an investigation here? That's really strange. Investigation Part 1, SS Gru's Passageway? Okay. I was not expecting to be slung into a frickin' investigation after the trial. That's interesting. Wait, so I get to play as Mikatoba and Sholmes is my partner? That's kind of cool, actually. Alright, well, anyways, guys, actually, this is a pretty decently length episode, I think. And alas, I have gotten no response yet. So I'm probably going to call it here for today. Definitely expect a DKC stream later today, though. So, as always, guys, make sure to like and subscribe to me on YouTube and Twitch. And I will see you guys in the next episode, where I guess we're going to do the investigation of Case 5. It's interesting.